they're woven where they don't absorb. So you don't waste product. And you can get they're called, they come like this and they're called glycolic applicators. And this is by far the best way to apply the alpha exfoliature. Okay, so think about it, yeah. Okay. So we're just gonna do, I'm just gonna do a nice quick cleanse. What was your first name? Saya. Yes. What type of skin do you have? Okay. I'm gonna leave your eye makeup on, okay? So I'm just gonna do a cleanse to remove her makeup, and then we will do the alpha exfoliature. So the thing with YON-KA is now that you're gonna see me a lot more, I want to spend more and more time on education for you guys, because I think that we've not given you a lot of good education, and that falls onto YON-KA. And so I feel like over the next year, I'm gonna give you a lot of different and inventive ways to use YON-KA that have changed just over the last few years, because we've evolved as a company. And you know, not that the other way of doing it was bad, we've just discovered that help to have the brain not focus on the itching and the prickling are also extremely beneficial for the tightening of the skin. And so you'll see what we do now when we use the alpha exfoliature. So we've got a nice cleanse. She's got beautiful skin. Some of your skin looks really good. She's got good color. Is that too warm? Here in Hawaii or in Japan? Here?
Moe has a beauty school, right? They said yesterday.
Well,
it's a small class.
Oh,
not a
I
huge.
didn't know about that. Who had Ampies? You? No, Ampies was there.
No, Ampies sold Moe.
Right.
And then the name is changed Moe.
Oh, now it's Moe?
Moe.
Oh, I didn't know
Yes,
that. Yeah, they used to have Ampies, and that was a YON-KA school. So when you went to school there and got
They
your...
carry everything. The Moe carry everything.
Right. Alpha hydroxy acids. You really want to make sure that the skin is dry. It doesn't have any excess water on it. Okay. So, okay, so the alpha exfoliature, you guys should have a pump. Okay, you have a pump. No, that's the object. So here it is.
Yeah, we have it.
Okay, yeah, no worries, no worries. You're good.
You sure?
Yeah, no, I've got my...
See?
Yeah, so it says 5 pumps. That's way too much. Okay, 3 full pumps, and if they have a small face, 2.5 pumps is all you need. You can always get more versus wasting it. Okay, so now that her skin is completely dry, so you're gonna feel some tingling with this. You're gonna feel some itching. Okay, it will start to not be as intense the longer it stays on your skin. Okay, and I'm gonna be doing just some little techniques to trick your brain into not focusing on the itching and the prickling. Okay. Okay. So I take the applicators and I dip it in, and I'm gonna just begin applying.
No steamer, right?
No
Now we know it's
You have to understand where I came from. I came from a very, very aggressive glycolic peel line that I was worked with for 7 years. And I know AHAs like the back of my hand. I can tell you things about AHAs that some people don't even know. And when I came to YON-KA, and they were putting the alpha exfoliator on me, and the next thing I know, I felt steam on my face, and I was like, I sat up, and I was like, what are you guys doing? What are you doing? Why is there steam on me? And they said, oh, because it will help with the prickliness. And I go, okay, but you're neutralizing it, and what's the point of putting it on if you're gonna neutralize it? And so they all kind of just looked at me, and I was like, I don't want steam, thank you very much. And so I guess they kind of all talked about it and called France, and about 3 or 4 months later, they came out with a new procedure for using alpha exfoliator. Okay, so now it's all over her skin, and I am going to do, are you doing okay? Any undue itching and prickling? Are you okay? Are you feeling it?
No.
Okay. So, while it's on, you are going to do techniques to move lymphatic fluid so that the skin will tighten. Okay. And what's really happening here as well is by touching the skin, you're tricking the brain into not thinking about the itching and the prickling. And you're allowing the AHAs to do better exfoliation without neutralizing them. And if you have a little bit left over, notice how the Q-tips don't get hairy from doing this. It's because they're so tightly woven. It gives a nice, most people think that these are my fingers. What do you think I'm using on you? Fingers?
Q-tip ですね。
You knew I'm using a Q-tip. You knew. It's okay. And so you can do things like the little circle and drag. Let's say she had some deep lines through here. Do this little circle and drag. Actually, you want to go circle and drag. Circle, drag.
So is that meaning with blood circulation or lymph drainage?
Say it again. Is it?
The motion is stimulate for the blood circulation.
Exactly.
Or lymph
For
drainage?
lymph and blood. It's also working it into the deep lines and wrinkles better. So, you know, women have those deep lacio-navel folds here. The other thing you can do here is a nice pinch and smooth. Pinch, where it's getting down in deep into the nice deep wrinkles. So we're pretending you have deep wrinkles. You don't. Okay, and we're gonna do, so wherever they have lines and wrinkles, you want to manipulate and get the product to really get down deep into that line or crease. Now, you have the ability with this exfoliator to leave it on 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, or 20 minutes. Okay? If you're doing a 90-minute treatment, you could leave it on 20 minutes. If they have really, really thick, oily, really, really sun-damaged skin, is 15 minutes appropriate? Yes. Great exfoliation at 10 or 15 minutes. 20 minutes, they may have some flaking. They may. Okay. See how they stay nice and they don't get all hairy? Yeah. And you can get them wet again. If they have a lot of deep congestion on the nose, you can work it in so it helps to break down the dead skin. You can come up around the cheeks. How does this feel? Does it feel nice? Is it relaxing? Okay. So instead of just letting them sit there with the steam on, you're actually touching their skin. So they're thinking, this is so nice. I mean, you're actually massaging them ever so gently, and they're getting great benefit. And so you just want to work your... You also can do the little circle and drag for that crow's feet area. So the number 11 lines are the glabellars. You can do the same thing. You can do the come and the go. You're basically wanting to stimulate the excess lymph fluid, the excess fluid, the blood flow to move up and out of any puffy area. You can do the pinching. You're slamming doors out there. Now let's say they've got some lines across their forehead. You can do the gentle pinching and then smooth it.
You say if people has a sunburn, we could do that. But how level is sunburn?
You can do what?
The sunburn skin, you can treat
Burning or
if the red, it cannot do that.
If they are sunburnt,
after sunburn.
you would not put
Yeah.
any professional exfoliator on them.
So no treatment.
No AHAs
No age.
on sunburned skin. None.
Sometimes.
If they're bright red and they got sunburned 2 days ago, you still don't want to do any of this on their skin. That's where you would do, a hydrating facial. Yeah.
ここだけ開けてたらここ以外の
そうだね、そうだね。
So once you've gone and worked your way up the entire face, and you've checked your time, and it's about 8 to 10 minutes, and let's say you want to leave it on a full 10 minutes, you can do little work around the eye. You can continue just to doing some light lifting on the skin, and you can just be creative. Again, just touching the skin feels nice. Okay, I always like to do some tightening of the apples of the cheeks, so they have a nice high cheekbone. And with this professional exfoliator, you really, really, really want to talk to your client and make sure that it's completely neutralized. And there's a couple of ways that you can do that. I recommend initially using your sponges to remove as much of it as you possibly can. Now, this exfoliation, a lot of times people will say it will kick up. Like they'll feel it once you start to add water to it. And that's normal. But these sponges are beautiful. They take it off so nice. This has a consistency of honey. It's very sticky and slick. Anything that has an AHA in it will feel slick if there are still AHAs on the skin. So I recommend you take your sponges and remove as much as you possibly can. Make sure you go through the eyebrow and around the hairline. And then you're going to want to feel the skin and see where there's any left over. So a little water on your fingers. And wherever it's real slick, you know that there are still some of the alpha exfoliature in that area. Another place that you want to make sure you really neutralize really well is around the nasal crease and through the eyebrows along the hairline. So you're going to then come back with your sponges. And you can start another pass. Again, the most important thing with this exfoliator is that you completely remove it all. And so once I get this next removal coming up through the hairline, I will check in with the guest and ask my guest, do you feel any activity still on your skin? Meaning, is it still itchy or prickly at any place on your skin? And you have to quit touching them so they can feel it. Can you feel it moving anywhere on the skin? Itching, prickling, anywhere?
No.
Not at all. It's gone. It's gone. Okay? So it's nice and neutralized. I feel good. I can move on to my next step. Okay? So the next step I'm going to show you are the tightening techniques. So very similar to the techniques that we use the Q-tips with are the techniques that we use in the optimizer facial. And in the optimizer facial, we use Phyto 52 and Galbal 90.
出た
What?
出たが出た
What?
ガーボ5090
90? Okay. So I'm going to use about a little, I did too much there, about the size of a pea. If they have a larger face, you might have to use more. So I'm going to take my Galbal 90 and I'm going to add about 4 to 6 to 10 drops. Okay. I'm going to mix it up.
Could you explain the Galbal 90? What's for the effect for the skin most?
Okay. Galbal 90 uses humectants, and it has the natural moisture factor in it, and what it is it's a tissue tightener. So your skin is considered a tissue. It's a connective tissue. And skin can pull down. See, I'm pulling the skin off of her muscle, right? That's muscle and skin. That's just skin. And as we age, the skin falls off of the muscle. And in order to tighten the tissue back up to the muscle, that's where you need the Galbal 90 and Phyto 52 and your rosemary products. It's going to take the tissue, the skin tissue, and it's going to naturally tighten it back up to the muscle on the face. Okay? So you're going to take your solution, and let's say she's got loose jowls. Okay, the skin is really loose down in this area. So you're going to apply the solution, and then you're going to start the tightening techniques, the pinching. And the pinching brings blood flow, and it's helping the two products to penetrate, so it gets into the skin to start to tighten it up to the muscle. You can do a little draining when you're doing this, because you're stimulating the flow of lymph and blood. And you should be able to see their skin contour after you do this. Some of you may know the slapping technique. How many of you do the slapping technique? Yeah, you do the slapping technique. This is appropriate in this with the Feto 52 and the 90 as well. Okay. So Feto 52, which has 10% rosemary in it, with Galbal 90. So you're gonna contour the face. So we've worked on that area of the face. Now we wanna work, let's say they've got the deep nasolabial folds and through here. And this is where we're gonna do more of the pinching and the dragging. So we're gonna pinch and then smooth it up. Pinch and smooth it up. If you're coordinated and can do both sides at the same time, do both sides at the same time. So you're going to pinch down, smooth up. Until the cream and everything has penetrated. Okay? The area around the number 11 line. You can do things where you do rapid pinch, 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 and then smooth. You can actually do a little bit of the slapping with one finger and then pinch. You should see if you're getting a good pinch and good blood stimulation, you should see deep lines plump. How do you know when a deep line has plumped? How can you tell? Does anybody know? When you have a deep line and it plumps, what do you see? You should see a white line where that skin was folded down and hasn't seen the light of day. If it plumps, it's going to plump up, and that skin that's been hiding in that crease that hasn't seen the sun, it'll appear white. I've seen that happen. I've seen it happen. So we're going to work around the eye in the same fashion. We can do pinching and smoothing to tighten that area around the eye. Making sure to stay at that bone, not too close. The lines on the forehead, you can do the pinching. You can do, it's much harder to do a pinch on the tight forehead, but it will work nicely. You can do the circle and the drag. Just working the 52 and the Galbal into the skin for optimal draining and tightening. And I always end on the cheekbones. I don't know anybody who doesn't want tight cheekbones. And I contour the cheekbone up so that they have beautiful apples of their cheeks, and smooth the skin up.
Even customer don't do the massage same as you, they can only they used to the two kind of the product. It works to the
If they don't massage it in? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this just really makes it happen really, really fast. And it has a longer lasting, it's faster and it's longer lasting. It's really worked it in. And you're also working with muscle. They're applying it. They will see it tighten. It just takes a little bit longer because of the penetration. I mean, if people who use machines at home to push it in, then they'll see good tightening and quick things of that nature. But I mean, this is one of the reasons why they come to see you, is for these types of techniques. Because I would imagine not many of them, well, maybe if they're world travelers, have had, French facials and things like that, and have experienced these types of manipulations in other facials that they've had. Okay? All right, so then now we're going to do the rubberized mask. So the fruit mask has been reformulated, so it's not chunky anymore. And you make the fruit mask the same way you make the mask lift. So there's mask lift that's used in the optimizer facial. And there's mask modellant, which is also known as your fruit mask. Mask modellant is the fruit mask. And they have reformulated it to make it very smooth. Remember how it used to be pretty chunky? Yeah. Leftover glucose solution. Don't throw it away. You're going to use it in your mask. Okay? And I like to use a 9 volume. You can use an 8 volume. Anywhere between an 8 and 9 volume of water is what you should use when it comes to making your mask, both the mask lift and fruit mask. 8 or 9. 8 or 9. In between is fine as well. Okay? And now you don't have to worry about it getting chunky. It naturally will be much smoother for you. You do want to kind of quickly get it reconstituted and get it all wet. And once it's wet, you really want to, you want to work it, but you don't have to beat it like you used to. Okay? See how it's much smoother now? Okay? Now, the way I was taught in New Jersey by our educator was to go over the lips. Now, some people don't like that. Do you guys go over the lips? Yes? I was never taught to go over the eye, so I don't do it. For me, doing it over the eye is a little scary. It scares me because they could blink, and then the next thing you know, while you're applying it, you've put rubberized mask inside their eye. So I typically, are you okay if I go right over your lip? Okay. So you want to make a nice thick edge at the bottom so that you're able to remove it. As you can see, it's nice and smooth. And their lips get the beautiful benefit of the mask. No talking. You. You can't ask the model any questions because she can't talk. Now, if they say they're claustrophobic, I wouldn't put it over their lips. They would not like that. If you know how to do it over the eye and you feel confident, continue to put it over the eye. That's fine. You're absolutely fine to do it, okay? It's just I was never taught that way, and it's just a weird sensation for me to put something over someone's eyes.
You have an eye treatment in YON-KA, right?
You know, we don't have an official eye treatment, but I do know of an eye treatment that we do during events and things like that. and I can kind of walk you through it and show you what products we use. And basically the tightening techniques are what you're going to want to do. I always recommend you gommage around the eye. That's the best way to exfoliate around the eye. That would be the first thing, obviously after you've cleansed. Then after you've gommaged, you can do the optimizer serum. Optimizer serum in a circular motion to really get the collagen production around, and it's a very, very nice gel. It's very spreadable. You don't need a lot. I've seen us do eye treatments where, okay, so you gommaged it, you then put optimizer on and you do the figure eights, you do some of the tightening techniques with it until it's pretty much penetrated. Then you could use your fetal contour and do draining techniques, okay, where you drain it, move, drain it down, okay, and then finish with a little Nutri contour.
No mask.
You can always put a mask on it.
So we can use this mask or
I wouldn't, just because I would never open a full packet of this just for the eye area. It's a big waste. Because for the eye, if you only, I mean, you can. Just make sure you're charging enough.
Yes.
One packet is $7. That's what it's your cost.
Yes.
And one packet to just do on one eye, you're wasting.
Maybe we divide the 4 or 5 people.
If you have 4 or 5 people, absolutely. It's a beautiful mask to do on the eyes. But yeah, I would hate for you to open one packet and only do one eye. So yeah, if you've got multiple people, break up the packet. Beautiful mask for the eye. Absolutely. I love that idea. That would be the ultimate eye treatment, is to do all of what the advanced optimizer serum, the little fetal contour, blood vessels, and they just tend to retain heat. The beautiful thing about the fruit mask is it will draw the heat up. So if they go down, when you're putting the mask down and they're kind of pink or red, chances of them still being pink or red after you remove the mask are very small. Very, very small. Lots of good hydration in this mask. Really good for dehydrated skin as well. It'll stay shiny, as you guys know. When it becomes matte, where there's no shine, that's when you know it's ready to come off. I've seen people put wet gauze or put gauze down on it when it's wet and then just remove it. That's a fine technique for taking it off. If that's the way you do it, that's completely fine. Everyone has different techniques on how to remove it. I was just taught to roll it off, but the gauze down on the wet mask is another beautiful way to do it as well. They put the gauze on top when it's wet, and so the gauze dries in it, and so all they have to do then is just lift the gauze off and it's right there. Yeah. How have you all been removing it just with your hands this way? Yeah, I agree. That way you don't have to use gauze and you cut down on your cost. It's easy, absolutely, it's easy. The little white pieces that might be left over, I recommend you take a warm towel, let it cool so it's not too hot, because we just cooled the skin down. Take it in a mitt and you're just gonna wipe the rest off of the face, the white things. You know, if for some reason, let's say this towel fell off and a big clump fell in her hair, leave it alone. Don't try to remove it when it's wet. Let it dry. Once it's dry, you just roll it right out of the hair. But if you try to take it out when it's wet, it will smear and you'll never get it out of their hair. They'll have to go shampoo their hair. So it happens. right? And it does happen. If a big clump should fall, just don't touch it. They'll never even know it was there because they're asleep. You can always put eye pads on them at this point, right? But you guys go over the eyes, so that's beautiful. What else can I tell you? Do you have questions? Can I or could I have added anything to this mask when I was whipping it up? Absolutely. Let's say they were beet red. Beet red. I can put a little creme de la in that if I wanted. You can put pamplemousse in it. I've seen people put, not YON-KA serum, you don't want to put anything oily in it, but things like hydralia, which, by the way, the question came up when we were on a little break. Dermal 1, 2, and 3, we no longer make. It's now one product, hydralia. Hydralia. We did that, we tried to make it easier for the consumer as well as the clinician. So they took all the great ingredients from the dermal 1, 2s, and 3s and put it into one product. And that's hydralia. And I have heard from educators before me who, that's all they knew was the dermals, that the hydralia works better than any of the dermals that they had used. And the key with the hydralia is the steam. That's the key. You will get great extractions. Other things, questions that have come up with clients that you can think of? Oh, they're the best. I love Mesonium 1 and 2, and you still get them separate in professional. So
professional.
only in professional. So the retail Mesonium 1 and 2 is now called Serum Vital or Serum Vital. And so what they did is, as you know, Mesonium 1 has a little bit of oil in it, right? And Mesonium 2 is the straight liquid with the phytoestrogens and all the great amino acids. So what they did is, in order to have a little bit more oil, they put YON-KA serum in it. So Serum Vital, when you take it out of the bottle, on the bottom is Serum Vital, and on the top is the liquid part of Mesonium 1 and Mesonium 2. So for retail, they don't have to worry about which one do I put on first, do I mix them together, do I put 2 on or 1. It's all in one bottle, and all they do is shake it so that it mixes and emulsifies like salad dressing. You know how the oil separates? Just like salad dressing. Shake it really good, pump it into the hand, and apply it. Beautiful product. Sunburns, get the Serum Vital, the toner, the pink PS, and Mask 1. That is a sunburn cocktail that they will love you for. And so tone with the PS, put down your Serum Vital, and then seal it with Mask 1, and they can go to bed. And you can even do that on body parts that have gotten, especially if they get it here on the décolleté. You know, you don't want the skin to age, you want it to repair quickly. So PS, Serum Vital, and then Mask 1. You will still get the separate Mesonium ampules, Mesonium 1 and Mesonium 2, because in our protocols we still do use them sometimes separately. So that will remain the same. Okay? So she's nice and dry now, and so I'm gonna just wet my fingertips. And I'm gonna come around the edges. I'm gonna just roll it. don't want to sit there and pick at them right now because that feels like one of our corporate educators in New Jersey calls it monkey picking. You know how monkeys sit there and pick at each other? And she's like, it's monkey picking, don't do it. Don't sit there and pick your... So you really want to make sure, because we've cooled her skin down, we want to make sure that this isn't too warm. But the warmth will help re-rubberize it and just wipes the white right out and off of the face. Sometimes if it's in the hair, you have to work it a little bit better. The only bad thing about the rubberized mask is that there'll be little pieces on the floor, you know? You got yourself a nice little mini facial, Missy. You just didn't get the massage. But you got all the best parts. You got the exfoliation.
Yes.
And you got the mask. And we'll finish with a nice... What moisturizer do you normally use? What kind of moisturizer do you use? Just kind of a little bit of everything? What do you... I would use Vital Defense on you. As you can tell, I'm a big lover of Vital Defense. And you liked the smell, is that right? Okay, so let's put it on you and see if you enjoy it. So we really want to make sure that all the little white is gone. Nothing worse than having them walk out and they've got little white chunks in there, right? So I'm going to use some Vital Defense. Oh, here we go. Here. Oh, is that what I'm putting? The texture of Vital Defense is so amazing. It's got that French, very fine cream milled feeling, which is another reason why it's such a popular age defense moisturizer. Her skin looks amazing. Her skin looks good, doesn't it? Just with no massage or anything else, she just got a good exfoliation and a great mask. What are they saying? They all want one now?
We are 40 something, so she's still younger, right? So maybe
You're the youngest. Hey. All right. So was that helpful? Helpful? Okay. Shall I talk a little bit more about cellular code, or do you feel like they've got how to use it and how to recommend it? You're good?
Yeah,
Everybody.
we want to know.
Everybody.
Everyone wants
Okay.
to know.
The seminar, unfortunately, the way they did the seminar this time was they only allowed me to invite 12 total people. 12 total out of all of my Honolulu accounts. And that's why if you...
Have you had trouble with hard and callous skin on your feet? Ever been embarrassed with how your feet look when you're not wearing covered shoes? As a woman, wearing high heels can cause rough skin to form around the heels and toes. Maybe you get regular pedicures, but want to find a cheaper and more sanitary solution. And for men, everyday activities can cause dry and cracked heels, but most don't have the time or patience to remedy this problem. Introducing Beautyfoot, a simple but revolutionary skin peeling solution to remove hard skin from your feet in 1 to 2 weeks and make your feet soft and beautiful again. It's easy to apply. Just put on a pair of specially formulated socks with our natural ingredients and seal them. Make sure the liquid within the socks is evenly spread around the sole of your feet and allow your feet to soak for about 90 minutes. Wash your feet thoroughly after soaking. That's all you have to do. Within 5 to 7 days, your feet will start to naturally peel, removing unwanted dead skin cells. Beauty Foot is cost-effective and more sanitary than a pedicure, so you can easily care and maintain your feet at home. Beauty Foot is made in Japan, so you can trust in a high-quality product. Beauty Foot is effective, effortless, and simple to use. It typically takes between 1 to 2 weeks to see results. Beauty Foot uses natural ingredients that moisturizes and exfoliates your feet in a gentle process. You may be wondering, does this actually work? We offer a money-back guarantee and stand behind the results our customers get from our product. This product has sold over 150,000 units a month in Japan. We've been in business over 18 years and have a brick-and-mortar retail shop as well as a day spa located in Honolulu, Hawaii. So if you're ready for beautiful and soft feet, order Beauty Foot today.
Kuub Cosmetics はきめ細やかで経験豊かな日本人スタッフによるサービスが人気のトータルビューティーサロンです。当サロン専属ドライバーがキューブ送迎車にてお客様の宿泊ホテルまで時間通りにお迎えに上がります。お客様はサロンまでの移動の心配もなく、ホテルのお部屋にてゆっくり待機していただけます。ワイキキ中心から送迎車にて5分ほどで当サロンが位置するセンチュリーセンターに到着です。スタッフがお迎えに上がり、37階の絶景サロンまでお客様をご案内いたします。当サロンではハワイ伝統のロミロミをはじめ、エステ、マッサージなどのバラエティ豊かなメニューで体の芯から疲れを癒し、至福のひとときをお楽しみいただけます。地上37階のサロンの窓の外にはタンタラスの丘やダイヤモンドヘッド、またワイキキの街並みといった壮大な景色が広がります。美しいハワイの景色を見下ろすように眺めることができる抜群のロケーションをお楽しみいただけます。また爽快な景色を堪能していただきながら施術を受けていただけます。最高の癒しの空間の中で贅沢な時間をお過ごしくださいませ。キューブのエステサロンでは新しくカッサを取り入れた施術を始めました。カッサとは約2000年以上前から中国で行われてきた民間療法でございます。専用の板を使ってリンパを刺激することで毛細血管に圧を加え、血液の毒を肌表面に押し出し、お肌を引き締めデトックスする効果がございます。ハワイにお越しの際にはぜひキューブで最高の施術をお楽しみください。ご予約はKuub.comからお申し込みが可能です。
キューブ.com